Well, it's over. Thank God. Just don't put the fan up to your damn speaker this time, Eve. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyway. Hello, and hello, uglies. And welcome to, there we go.
No.
And welcome to
this.
Rain. Yes.
It's over.
I was like, I couldn't remember which one you were trying to do.
Yeah, I was trying to be melodramatic and just be like sitting in the rain. Who can say whether
Copyright.
Only day goes, only time.
Anyway. Hello, and hello, ugly. My impression of them has gotten worse.
You almost have to talk like you have a grape in each cheek. Like, hello, ugly.
Hello, ugly. Yeah. Okay, we'll get there. Anyway, welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I can't. Chop. Yes. Good. The chaos. They left us alone today. It's just going to be chaos, y'all. I am just drinking water because hydration is important. But if I was drinking anything else, obviously, hello, it would be in a cup mug. Hello. And you could get your cup mug as well as all of our other merch at lonagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically in the US. So there are no excuses. And we're looking at you, uglies.
That's right, Luxembourg.
Sure, we talked about them the other day, but literally like last week. But yes. Anyway, that's that.
Oh.
I was like, you're the only one here, darling. You're the only one
here.
That's how I feel when I'm not hosting and I'm like, oh, it's my turn. Yes, got it.
Hey y'all, it's me, Eve the Bunny, Chicago Jack artist and Queen of Ivy Park. I'm here kicking it in my comfy Ivy Park leisure wear because you know the homie loves a good jogging suit and beanie situation, honey. It is 20 degrees outside, sweetheart, and the windshield is -2. So trust and believe she is staying warm. She is staying comfortable. Yesterday, I stayed home and gave myself a nice little mini spa day. I did my nails. I got all nared and moisturized. I got me some new face cleansers and stuff. So I got me a good cleanser routine going on. And I'm like double, triple masked last night and did a good like moisturizing. Look at that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Not man. Where did she get it all from? TJ Maxx. Come through Maxxinista.
Period. Bang. This is a Maxxinista podcast right here.
Hello. I'm trying to tell you, if you need to try to get your stuff from Ulta and you can't afford it for a minute or something, go to TJ Maxx. You can get your Boscia from there. You can get your First Aid Beauty from there. You can get your Laura Geller whatever's from there. You can get your like I got the little K Beauty masks and stuff like that, girl, that you can get from there. Easy peasy. Marked down like crazy too. This, I got a cleanser, a moisturizer, and like some under eye strips, all from Pacifica Beauty.
Work, okay.
And like a kit, and it was marked all the way down to $5. And it wasn't like a little packet of whatever. It's like an actual decent tube of like the cleanser and the night cream. I was like, for $5, and I know that brand. Pacifica's a good brand. That's why I was like, okay. It's doing what it needs to do. Come on, vegan collagen.
Yes, God.
Yeah,
I would go to TJ Maxx more, but I have Marshalls closer to me, so I just end up going to Marshalls. But like same, but different.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I would go to TJ Maxx. But
I would too.
I understand what you're saying.
But I get my candles at Marshalls, so.
Right, you go to Marshalls for certain things.
I get my candles, and I get. Stay with me, audience. I get my Tarani syrups from Marshalls.
Oh,
They're
okay,
marked down.
yeah,
It's like the
flavor
giant
syrups.
bottles.
How much are they?
I get my giant bottle of cinnamon vanilla sugar free for like $8.
How much are they usually? Like 15 or something?
I think so, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I go there for that. You can get K-Cups for your Keurig, and they're cheap and they're good. And it's always like the Dunkin' Donuts ones, which are the best ones, in my humble opinion.
They have good markdown fragrances.
That part. But we're not here to talk about TJ Maxx.
We're not.
Can y'all tell we don't want to talk about the Dragula finale? We don't care enough. We are here, though. We're talking about Dragula. It's over. They crowned a winner. Is anybody surprised? No.
Everything you touch today destroys me.
If you get this video copyright claimed, I'm gonna scream. I will say, am I disappointed with the winner overall? No. Would I have wanted somebody else? Absolutely. But am I fundamentally upset at the winner? No.
Ask me those 3 questions.
Eve, are you happy with the winner of Dragula Season 5?
No.
Would you have wanted the winner of Dragula Season 5 to be somebody else?
Absolutely.
Are you fundamentally upset at the winner of Dragula Season 5?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, for me, at the end of the day, for me, it was the second best option out of the 4 we were given.
That I will say.
That's where I'm like, am I fundamentally mad? No, because I believe it was the second best choice of the 4 available choices.
I am fundamentally mad because I still think they should have picked the first damn choice.
I agree with you. And we'll talk about why.
And that hill I will die on.
But it wasn't the other 2 options. And for that, I am happy.
Small victories.
Small victories.
I don't want to be like, oh, I'm not paying attention to the flesh-eating bacteria that's eating my hand because my leg is falling off due to leprosy. I want to be able to keep my limbs.
I agree with you.
So let's go ahead and get this shindig kicked off.
Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe for all the chaos we have going on always. Because it's always chaos here.
And if you do, I'm going to give you a shimmy. Woo!
Ooh, both of us. Ooh.
All right.
They left us alone today, so it's just chaos and shimmying.
Audio listeners, feel the vibrations with the shimmy.
But yeah, subscribe. We appreciate it. And there is a super thanks button below this video. So if you
that shimmy was at least $2. Now
at least $2.
It was at least $2.
$1 for each of us at least.
$1 for each of my non-existent cities.
Exactly. But yes, there is a super thanks button. If you want to support us in a monetary fashion, all that money goes right back into making this podcast better for y'all. And we do greatly appreciate all of it. So let's just talk. Hey, Boulets. Hey.
Hey, Boulets. Hey.
I'm going to cover you up real quick because we first have to talk about the Last Supper. And we are briefly. But I want to talk quickly about the looks that we got at the Last Supper.
The theme we're getting was biblical horror.
The theme was red.
And everybody decided to become biblical?
Apparently. I don't know. But
we're going to say the theme was red biblical horror.
That part. And first up, the most red of the biblical whores, Onyx on Dax, who discussed her trans identity on this Last Supper. And for that, period queen. I love to see it.
Welcome to the fold, sister.
4 trans girls on this season.
4 trans girls on this season.
The most transness Dragula has ever seen, and thank God for it. The look is cute. I ain't mad at it.
The look for me isn't bad. It's very detailed and nuanced. It makes me go like to Hellraiser kind of with it.
Well, especially with the headpiece and everything that's going on with that.
I feel like that. But not just that, it does give me like secret society. You know what I mean? Sure. Like her and a whole bunch of other monks that all have the same matching outfits with hoods on. They're all standing over some altar over a virgin or some shit like that. Like, I see that. It wasn't horrible. And it was, I guess I say it wasn't horrible, and it was very well done. But also at the same time, I'm going to go back to the critique that she was given on her season before they sent her home. This does not fully match who she says she is. So I guess that's what throws me off a little bit about it. Because I feel like anybody could throw on this. You know what I mean? But to have this be more signature to Onyx, if she is supposed to be giving you this devilish, like burlesque stripperella or whatever, I would have loved a more nudie version of this. I would love the same concept, just a little bit more skin and more naked. She looks so damn covered up.
Every inch of her damn body is covered except for her face and her hands.
Girl, she looks like she probably has a full pajama bottom on underneath there. She is not tucked.
No, not at all.
She's got a tank top underneath this as baby girl. And the minute that the cameras went off, she ripped all that shit off and stuff to be comfortable.
She had RuPaul's sweatpants on. And she was just like, well, in between, I gotta just, I mean, I'm not fun. I think the look is nuanced. There's detail to it. The headpiece is obviously the focal point, and I'm not mad at it. So
the look is nice. I just wish the look had more personality that fit her, as opposed to seeming like a look that just fit a criteria she was given.
I agree with you.
Which was her main complaint on her season, was it seemed like her looks were just feeding more to the category and not really showcasing who she was as well as feeding to the category. So,
and I hope that she's gone on a bit of a journey after Dragula, both with her identity now as a trans woman and with her drag. And I'm hoping that maybe those journeys
right. And when you come back to Dragula, get naked, bitch.
Exactly.
Do like Louisiana, bitch. I better see a thigh muscle every 5 seconds.
As far as this look is concerned, though, I'm going to give Onyx a 77.
Same.
It's cute.
Is that a demon dick dildo?
I think so.
Work. So, what this is making me think of a little bit is, remember when we talked before and we were talking about filth runways, and I said my favorite filth runway of all Dragula history was Melissa B. Fierce's filth runway on season 1. This gives me allusions to that, of like taking religion and putting a lewd, sexual, perverse, like aura or deity around it. You know what I mean? Like, she looks like she's like this priestess, but like this priestess that like rapes men or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much one of those. I'm just kind of like, okay, I see the filth now in it. My issue is I wish it was filthier.
Sure.
Just because of the fact that if no one noticed that was a dildo and knew what that was, then it's you in a white dress with a veil and like just one rosary. Just one. I'm like, I'll even give it to Onyx. She at least had 2 or 3 in the outfit. You just have one chain rosary and a red scarf around your head and a white outfit. So it's like, without the dildo, one, it's not going to fit the criteria because the criteria is supposed to be red apparently. And then 2, it's not fully giving me the story as much as I would like. I need more elements in this, other than it being just a pretty white dress with a veil.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not disappointed at the look overall, though. The only thing that makes me think the prompt wasn't red was the fact that she's the only one not in red, but there is still red as part. I don't know. I'm not mad at it.
I think it's biblical.
I would agree with you probably, but I'm mad at this.
But I still think this is, but that's the thing too, is if it is biblical, I still think this is bare minimum for biblical. Like, if you take the rosary off, I could see her being a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
You know? So
demonic bridesmaid.
Yeah. So I'm like, it needs to have more of a clear message.
Yeah. I'll give it a 75.
I'll give it a 70.
Jarvis Hammer.
Now, the reason why I'm okay with Jarvis giving me this and not being so over your head with it, if the thing was biblical, is down to one thing, and it's a little nuance. It's the hair.
Yeah.
With those gray streaks. Baby, that hair is Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
That hair is televangelist down. I'm like,
that had to have been the inspiration. I'm
like, is he is he like a vampire televangelist? Yes. Is he like over the Dead 800 Club? Absolutely. Like that's one reason why I do hope, spoiler alert. Well, I mean, they talked about it in the last episode or whatever, but I do really, 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 really want to see Jarvis again on Dragula. Jarvis is strong enough that Jarvis could win. Like, really, Jarvis didn't have a bad look other than the one that sent them home. Jarvis is very strong context-wise and conceptually trying to give you a message, regardless if the message doesn't fully hit. Like, when they did the Terror in the Woods, and then his terror was, like, more puritanical people and stuff like that. Like, it didn't fully hit the target on the bullseye, but it wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it still gave a full, concise message throughout his entire look and performance, where I'm like, your drag is very clean and very well put together. I want that jacket. Like, that coat is to me. It's like Ruby Rod from Fifth Element's coat. It's like
yeah, I do hope, because I know what was said during the Last Supper was just that Jarvis was asked whether he would return. I do hope that does translate to seeing Jarvis return, because I was so excited for Jarvis going into the season, because I felt, and I do still feel like, Jarvis brings this very different point of view to Dragula in this way that we haven't seen anybody who has like a ghost character really ever on the show. And it brings such a different perspective to the way you look at Dragula.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I like him. I think he's a good drag artist. I think they're a lovely human. The TikTok series where they've been doing Jarvis and Jules together. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's incredibly funny. Jules as a character themselves, I think, is really funny. And I would want to see both more of Jarvis and more of Jules on the show. I would love to see that. And I think they could make a Dali-inspired sort of return and do very well on a future.
Like another resurrection.
Absolutely. Jarvis on a resurrection into potentially another season, I think that would be great.
It's funny because when I think of drag entertainers, and I think of drag entertainers that fit this mold and do this style of drag where they're very character forward, like down to vocally, down to how they move, very nuanced. This is going to be kind of a reach of a reference, but it's going to make a whole bunch of sense. So, to me, Jarvis is the ghost of Ben de la Creme's dead husband.
I don't think that's as far of a reach for me, at least. I see it. I thought you were going to. If Jarvis was alive, I thought you were going to go Jinx Monsoon.
I would go with more Daylight over than Jarvis, just because I feel like her character is so much different than Ben. You know what I mean? Ben was like there's a split between the two, down to vocal. You know what I mean? Vocally, how they like. But that's something that I noticed out of Jarvis, which I liked, was the fact that Jarvis's character had their own inflection. Jarvis's character had their own mannerisms. They were just a fully fleshed out character. They weren't just
until he has thought of every single detail, down to during the Last Supper when he's asked a personal question about not Jarvis but Jules, and still answers in
like Jarvis
character.
Yeah.
Like, that's where this character is fully fleshed out. Whether he was ready for Dragula is another whole consideration.
But is he good? But is he good for this competition? And then yes. Yeah. And that's also another thing too. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up, and we'll just tap on this real quick and keep it moving, because we're not gonna make it super long, and we're not gonna obsess about this.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons as well why I'm not buying into this narrative that some people are trying to perpetuate online, where the issue that people are having with Throb is is in some way related to misogyny, as in people are having an issue with Throb because they are a drag king and they live their life as a woman outside of drag. Baby, no, that's not the case. Yeah. The issues that we have with Throb are issues that we have with Throb, and they are on a completely different level, and they've already been notated many times. Yeah. Many people online have said issues or negative interactions they've had with Throb or whatever. So that's it. We're not going to wrap drag kings in this to try to make it something that it's not, because I have nothing but respect and love for drag kings. And some of my best friends are drag kings. I'm not going to do the whole I know a drag king, so that's why whatever. But it's like, no, none of this vitriol. We have none of this towards Jarvis.
We love Jarvis.
Never once. I want the most for Jarvis. To be honest, I wanted Jarvis to make top 3. Boots.
I wanted Jarvis to win the season.
I ain't gonna say all that. I wanted Jarvis to win top 3. Make top 3.
Sure.
Boots. I wanted Jarvis to make top 3 and possibly get Extra Sister, because they didn't name that. But
it's still Coco as far as I'm concerned, and for that, I'm happy.
We're fine with that. But I just want to go ahead and put attention to that and say that I live for drag kings. I think they're amazingly talented and fine as hell. And I think Jarvis is like Jarvis gives me Landon Cider vibes when it comes to the strength of their character and their drag and just what they put out when it comes to a performance. And so I just want to see nothing but the best for Jarvis.
Agreed. And with that said, this garment is getting a 95 from me.
Oh yeah. 95. Down. I need that code. Oh my God. It's so dark shadows. It's so like, oh God.
It's so good.
I love those like ones where they just look like overly gaudy 18th century 19, like those kind of, you know what I mean? Like old Victorian big ass gaudy coats and stuff like that. We're just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah.
All right now.
I have.
And a Phylactic.
Chop.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Why are you some weird devil genie priest in a baby doll dress? What's happening? What's happening, sir? You tried to do what Onyx did, but you really said, I'm not finna wear nothing under this, honey. I'm like, no. Put some clothes on. It's a drag.
But a bunched up legging in the same fabric. That's what I'm wearing underneath.
You're wearing your Christmas tree skirt as a top. Put some clothes on. This is drag.
The face and wig are good, though.
Put some clothes on. This is drag.
Yeah. I'm still kind of baffled at Anna's run because I really thought Anna would do better. I
was told she did. And I sat there.
I was also told she did.
I'm like, well, not this episode, maybe next episode.
I was told preseason tea, for y'all that don't know, preseason tea, I was told she got top 5.
She got a top lie.
Yeah. She got top 5 first boots.
She wasn't in the top for not one challenge.
No. Which sucks because I followed her for years and I was genuinely disappointed. But
it for me made me personally go. Think about how I say this because I don't want to be rude to say it. But it made me personally go. Why are you here? Honestly, I just kind of was like,
yeah.
What you doing here, girl? What's going on? I mean, I put it this way. It is the same way that a lot of people probably felt about Blackberri and about Fantasia because they were entertainers that automatically do not align themselves with monster type aesthetics with their drag. So people set up them automatically went, okay, what are you guys doing here? You came from over the pond, girl. And this isn't even your gig. Why did you?
It was her gig, though.
She's the spooky girl over the pond? Is this spooky to them?
Yeah.
Spooky bed sheet, bitch. She looks like the ghost of The ghost of Queen Elizabeth's dust ruffle. What the hell?
Well, no, that's like her aesthetic is a horror aesthetic.
No, I've never seen a horror. I haven't seen a horror aesthetic from her since she was on the episode, other than her fashion choices. Nothing about her.
On the season, I don't think her choices translated, but in general, that is what she does. I'm just telling you what she does. I'm not telling you. I'm not defending anything she did on the show necessarily.
We're gonna hit her with the Bianca Del Rio question. What do you do successfully? Quickly.
Polish.
I don't think it's this. I don't think this is a success. I'm sorry, Anna.
I agree with you. I don't think anything she showed on the show was all that groundbreaking. I'm just telling you, outside of this, I think she's a wonderful entertainer. That's all.
I bet she makes an amazing Waldorf salad.
I'm gonna give her a 63 for this and move on.
I'm gonna give her a 6.
Okay. The star of the season, JK.
JK, this is what I'm going to tell you, baby. You had some stuff on this show that was very cute. You did. You do have some stuff that comes through and it comes off looking very last minute. I'm going to be honest with you, this is one of them. It is kind of giving me regular red bodysuit, and then you got whatever this little arm thing situation was and just wrapped it around you. And then you put on a red cloak, and then you got some red spiky hair. You have a pitchfork from Spirit. It's not even full length. It's one of the mini ones that you give to children for Halloween.
To be fair, though, if you were treated the way they were all season, would you want to put your
eat them up when I come back?
Okay,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
Not give them any damn excuse to continue to read me, because that's what I was scared about. I was like, Lord, please don't go in on this outfit, y'all. Otherwise, this poor child gonna be like, look, he gonna do a vixen and just walk the hell off. Which I would have been, if he would have did that, I would have respected shit out of him. I would have been like, I would have done it too. Y'all ain't finna sit up and just talk to me like I'm goofy all the damn time. I'll say the one thing that I love the most out of JK from their entirety on the season and from this look is their makeup. I've always thought that they had some of the best makeup on the show, and they really got overshadowed by other parts of their drag that people didn't care for. So I felt like that they didn't get a lot of respect for what they did do correctly. I wish this outfit had a little bit more elements to it to make it look a little bit more elevated. Hell, the pitchfork could have been rhinestoned. Or the staff of it could have at least been longer or something like that. Like my favorite parts of it are like the face and the head. I mean, the face and the hair. The rest of it looks like that you were given the theme biblical and you didn't have anything biblical, so you wore a lot of red and you grabbed a pitchfork. That's where it kind of comes off to me. Because I feel like if you get rid of the pitchfork, I don't see biblical in this at all. Other than the hair supposed to be devil horns. So yeah. But I love JK. But I just don't love this outfit.
I also love JK. And I also don't love this outfit. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. But you cannot deny that they were the star of the season.
That's right. Come through, Jennifer Kennifer.
Come on, just in case. The garment, though, I mean, it feels fitting to give them a 69, so that's what I'm gonna do.
I'll do that as well. It feels fitting to give 69.
Very. Cynthia doll.
I don't know what the hell the thing was, child, because this don't give me biblical either.
No. It's cute. It's a cute little reunion.
I don't like it.
Okay. No, I support that for you. I support that for you.
I was just like, just say what you feel. I was like, yeah, it gives me, you know what I told you that I don't, one thing that I don't like about certain outfits and certain drag looks is they look very reminiscent to other drag looks that are done in very similar silhouettes and very similar styles. It's just like the fabric is different or the color is different. It's like this kind of like shorter skirt with the skirt like right up at the hip with the too poofy shoulder. Like I feel like that I've seen dresses and outfits in this style so many times over, and you just got the exact same one and did it in red and black.
Yeah.
And I'm really not crazy about the hair. Because it's like, I kind of get the mullet tail, but then if you don't notice that it has a mullet tail, then you just see the front, which kind of gives like this weird blowout 80 something. Why did she draw a curl in the middle of her forehead? That hair would have no curl to it. Knees is all dirty, like she been sucking dick. Just
probably has. I think the connection to biblical is there are crosses on the fabric. Like the pattern on the fabric is crosses, so I think that's and then I think the detailing on the breast piece is all like an upside down cross. I'll give, you know what? I'm gonna give her a little bit of credit here because I don't think the dress is the most dynamic thing in the world. I do agree with you on that, but I think the fabric of the dress is cute, and the detailing here is nice. It's not the worst. It's not the worst.
I give her more benefit of the doubt with the crosses on the outfit.
Yeah,
I kind of didn't notice that at first. I do kind of wish that they were possibly. I do wish they were possibly bigger, or maybe if the prints were like one could be smaller, one could be bigger. Like the print on the
gold. Like if the crosses on the red were black, if it was red with black crosses and black with red crosses, I think that might work a little bit better.
Yeah, it does. It does look like they're kind of, yeah.
Because I didn't realize it until I'm looking right at it, and I'm like, oh no, that's the tea she's trying to give.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have noticed it unless you said something about it.
Yeah, it's not the worst for a reunion. Sure, whatever.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
70.
I'll give her 72.
I'm like, it's average. I ain't mad at it.
I'll give her a 72. 70 as well.
Work. Oh, so you want to talk about Mother?
Fantasia, Royale, Mama.
I mean...
Fantasia was just here recently in Chicago at a party called Bump, hosted by some bitches I don't like. And she looked cute. The theme was jungle or whatever. And so she had everybody wear cheetah print, child, because apparently that's all everybody on. So everybody wore cheetah print. There should have been a damn theme cheetah girls. But she wore this like very almost Ruby Rod-esque kind of cheetah print, like pointy shoulder pantsuit situation, and it had all this like clear black mesh here where she could just have all her titties just spilling out. It was pretty hot. I was like, come on, Fantasia.
Much better than whatever this is, unfortunately. I love Fantasia. This is not my favorite garment.
This to me, I love her to death, but this to me, and this is gonna be a bit of a read. This to me harkens back to her promo look. When everyone saw her promo look and was like, why is Fantasia here? Look at this promo look. It looks like she bought this from a Halloween store. Like, that's kind of what this outfit gives. It gives like, you need an outfit last minute. You bought this from a Halloween store.
They had to cut. This was a red faux latex Elvira dress. You had to cut off the bottom of it to make extra paneling so that the titties would fit, and then just decided to cut up the rest of the skirt to make these
strips, and then you just
these uneven strips. And then the problem for me is that it doesn't fit.
Yeah,
like the arms are. I love the makeup. And the wig is cute. I'll give her that much.
Right.
But like, and the titties look good, but the titties are always going to look good. So like, whatever. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, it was one of those where I hoped she would have come a little bit harder. But then also at the same time, looking at like, not going to read, but going to be honest, looking at, you know, how it looked for her on her season, she wasn't eating nobody up with no looks. So
she had a few.
She had some cute looks.
She brought herself into the competition, and I think she did prove some people wrong, asking why was she there. Did she serve
that I agree.
She serve the most dramatic, groundbreaking, show-stopping package we've ever seen on Dragula? Absolutely not. But
she did good for herself there.
Agreed. Unfortunately, I'm gonna give the look a 60.
I agree. I give it 1 too. Side baby girl.
Orkgotik.
And this damn saran wrap monster.
You know what's funny though, Eve? This is one of my favorite things he's worn all season, honestly.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I like the cut of the pantsuit. The color's cute. I do like the headpiece. It's giving bunny.
It is giving bunny.
I will say that it does give bunny. I'm not gonna read him for his material choices because that's just what he uses, and I don't care enough to discuss it further. What I will say is I think it's a well put together. It looks more polished than most things he wore on the season, and we'll talk about his final Floorshow package. But this is maybe the most polished he's looked all season. And for that, you know what? I'm not too upset about it.
I just wish I could have saw a little variety in what he presented. Not specifically saying what it was made out of or how he presented it. Like going back and looking through his catalog and then looking at this and looking at his finale show. It's like all of his entities or characters all look like they came out of the same like Resident Evil universe. And I kind of wanted to see something that gave some kind of departure from that. You know what I mean? Because
I wanted any kind of versatility. Any kind of versatility whatsoever. And that's why everybody was like, oh, well, what the hell is Orkgotik going to do for glamour? And we'll talk about it. But
Orkgotik's glamour wasn't bad.
We'll talk about it.
No, wait.
We'll talk about it. I'll show you later. We'll talk about it. But like I understand that this is his character and I respect the character and I think the art itself is really good. I just think his drag, and he would probably even say this himself, I feel like his drag is set up for film. And that's what he wants to do. And that's like where he wants to take his personal artistic direction. And I support that because I remember preseason when we did our Instagram review for Dragula, we were all like, oh my God, the special effects work here is incredible. He's fantastic. I think he's just someone where when he is able to manipulate all of the resources at his disposal, when he's able to control the angle and the lighting and this, that, the third, and the fourth, he looks wonderful. But in a competition setting, I don't think what he does stacks up to other people who, I'm going to just say, have more real life drag experience and more performance experience than him.
Yeah.
All of his characters would look phenomenal in movies because he would have more time to flesh out the ideas and he would have more time to make sure that the details are perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in Dragula, his concepts have not always translated 100% from his brain to what he actually presents.
Right.
Yeah. But I respect the character. I respect the craft. I just haven't always loved it because it's been a very, very similar thing every single time he's walked out on the Floorshow stage.
I love that movie.
Which
The
one?
Craft.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good movie.
As far as this look is concerned, I'm gonna give him an 83 because I actually think it looks pretty good.
I'm going to give it I'll give it an 83 because of the bunny ears.
Next up is Throb.
Chop.
Yeah.
Big ass chop. Girl, what the fuck was this? I'm sorry. People were so mad at us reading this, and we were like, one reason why we're reading it as well, too, is because it seemed like that I'm confused as to why you're waiting until the reunion and the finale to try to show the versatility of like, hey, I can do femme presenting stuff too. It's like, I feel like that you maybe should have done that throughout more of the competition, because now it doesn't make any sense to do it. This isn't a character or person that we're familiar with. We're familiar with Throb the way Throb usually looks. And to be honest with you, I felt a little bit taken aback off the fact that we didn't get like full on Throb for the finale, because this, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. But yeah, this was kind of a chop for me. I was like, this looks so bad. Thank you, JK, for clocking her on that slip dress, girl.
Yeah.
Because this Joker looks like it is from Forever 21 down. It is from Deb down. It's from Body Central down. This is a homecoming dress. Yeah. Not a prom dress. Homecoming. Snowball. This is giving that kind of.
This is sophomore homecoming.
This is Sadie Hawkins dance.
Sure.
Like, it's giving that. It's giving like when we dance, you got to get your hands up here and my hands down here, like that kind of a situation. The gloves don't go with it at all.
The wig is fine.
The wig don't even go with it.
The wig is fine, just not with this.
I really wish I would have just known what prompted these choices.
I'm gonna say this, and I mean no disrespect to the art of drag, because clearly big drag fan here. I'm curious whether Throb thought it would be easier. If at the end of the season,
you thought he was just gonna pay it and be like, I'm just gonna be a girl.
I'm just gonna do something a little bit more femme, and that way I don't have to put as much concept into my ideas. I'm curious whether that was what he thought.
That would be, to me, the dumbest thing in the world to do.
I agree.
Especially if you're not good at doing it, or not as good at doing it as you are with your other stuff, because now it looked like they were just running out of steam.
And if we had had any sort of more femme presenting stuff throughout the season, I absolutely agree with you. Everything we saw in The Last Supper and in the finale would have made a little bit more sense. But everything we saw on the season was very masculine.
Yeah. Which, I mean, as masculine as a fruity patootie could freaking be, because let's obviously be honest with that too. Tenderoni ass ain't like Jarvis is more masculine than Tenderoni. I mean, not Tenderoni. Well, I mean, yes, Tenderoni. But love you, Roni. Love you, Roni. Roni's also one of those kind of drag kings. He's a drag king that's one of the girls. Like, that's very much what Throb is. Throb's a drag king that's one of the girls. That ain't no king game. So even Jarvis was more masculine than Throb was. So that's why I was like, part of me honestly wishes that this part would have been a little bit better. Like, if you would have been able to come out with some nasty updo that maybe had spider webs or something in it, and some sickening gown or something like that, we would have been like, oh, wait a minute. Throb E.
He could have won. I think he could have won. If that glamour was glamour down, and we'll talk about it. But if that glamour was glamour, well, we'll talk about the glamour because it was pretty good. But if he had gone full high femme and had done like one like high mask, one high femme look, and one like more androgynous look, it would have truly shown the range. And I think we could have looked at a Throb Zombie winner.
Yeah.
but
I think Throb just played. I think Throb just worked himself too hard and played their last cards just not the best way.
Yeah. I'm gonna plead this.
I'm giving it a full on 2.
Okay.
Ain't shit to plead.
Niohuru
X.
I thought it was just like a bunched up red vinyl dress, but I like what it's happening with the cutouts.
Yeah, around the hips and stuff.
The hips, the elbow, there's like a cutout situation. I think the breast situation as well. There's a cutout there. I'm not upset at this.
Can I be honest and say there was only one thing that made me like, damn, and I didn't realize it until the finale.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish she would have worn this outfit for her horror look instead of the one that she wore. Because I feel like it would have went way better with the rest of the look that she had on. And for me, it seemed like with her horror look, it seemed like the mask part of her look was the main part of her look and the outfit became an afterthought. And I was wondering, like, what other kind of outfit would you have been able to do with this where it really looks this good? And then right when you showed it to me, I'm like, this should have been what she wore. She should have wore this. So it's not bad. It's not a bad look. For this, the look was cute. The look was sickening. The look was cunt. I kind of wish that we would have got a variation of this look for part of her finale as well, though.
I agree with that. And we'll talk about her floor show here in a bit. But yeah, I'm not disappointed at this. You know what? I'm gonna give Neo an 80.
Sure. I'll give her an 85.
Sure.
I liked it.
And last up for Last Supper, Blackberri.
Cup is full.
Why?
Oh, yeah. Because she's a big titty Jesus.
I love it.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Beyond
she was the only person that went biblical and went more angelic, but even also at the same time, it still has a hint of like a sinisterness to it.
Oh yeah.
Like it makes me think of those like movies. Actually, you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of those like movies or TV shows where they're supposed to be divine people like angels and stuff like that, but they actually end up being the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it makes me think of. It makes me think that she is like this deity over this civilization or whatever, but they don't know that she actually eats children and all this other kind of shit.
Right.
Like Baba Yaga kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, Baba Yaga.
I have one slight complaint in that the bodysuit, it's a little ill-fitting in the arm, specifically.
Oh, ooh, I see that.
Yeah, it's just like that one thing.
Ooh, by the wrist, I see it. It looks
bad.
Yeah. If that's supposed to look like your skin, girl, it's not supposed to be wrinkly like a shirt by that part.
But this bodysuit is stoned within an inch of its life. Unless we get the fake bejeweled titties and we see the real titties poking through, because apparently that room was cold.
Blackberri was pissed at themselves because they said my freaking anal retentive ass didn't pay attention to the fact that my titties under my outfit don't match where my nipples are on the front of my outfit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, it does look like you're kind of a little bit of a cow. Kind of like you got a little extra set of udders.
Cow, black bearded cow Jesus. How about that?
Come on. Utterly Jesus.
Purr.
Like absolutely fabulous is utterly Jesus.
Sure.
The British television show about Jesus, but he's also a cow.
Great.
Yes. I also want to give praise and shout out to, I know she was not in this season at all, but she was referenced in this outfit. Can we go ahead and just make some noise all over the building for the one and only Shea Coulee for hyping the girls up to the rhinestone spray painted bodysuits? Because baby, we weren't seeing good ones like hers until she had hers. Then everybody was like, okay, I need a full all body bodysuit, airbrushed with my different skin tones all around it with alternating colored rhinestones on the entire thing. No one was doing that before Shea. No one. And I live for the fact that she did it in a big girl version. I live for that. I live and breathe. Something, honestly, though, I just because the fact that because the stones are so small and you can't really see them and they don't photograph that well, maybe she didn't do it because in person they do shine a lot brighter, so it would be a little bit off. But I wouldn't have been mad if the red sash was rhinestone too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if that had some kind of sparkle to it, because since the stones don't fully photograph like stones, they photograph like freckles or like spots all over. So the whole thing kind of looks flat. And I know that if she would have had, even if that would have just been a sequin piece of red fabric as opposed to red fabric with rhinestones on it or whatever, that way it wouldn't be like stone on stone. But I wonder if that's, like I said, because of the fact maybe the stones just come across so much better in person that if she would have done that with the red, it would have looked way too clashy. So, but I liked the way that this outfit looked on the Last Supper a lot better than it photographs.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be a 96 for Blackberri for me.
She's getting a good old nasty 99 from me.
Her.
A good old nasty 99.
Well, we got to talk about the finale now.
All right. This is going to be the lightning round, y'all, because child.
Can we talk for just a moment about the pacing? Because what the fuck was this pacing?
So, us people that are known to Dragula know that the pacing usually goes, they just start the floor show. Yeah. And they basically do one category, they have everyone go through, then they do a next category, they have everyone go through, and they go to the next category, have everyone go through. For some reason, they put breaks in between the categories where we watch the contestants go into the back and change and get ready. So it's almost like they were giving us mini preps for each of the floor shows for letting everyone know what they did, which I honestly did not like, not just for the pacing, but I love the fact that during the floor show 9 out of 10, you didn't know what people were going to do at all. They maybe gave you a concept on one of the 3 things they were doing, but you never knew everyone's full package. And so I did get annoyed by the fact that they were basically, everyone was explaining what they were going to do before they did it for each category. I'm like, I don't want to know what you're doing. I kind of want to get a little bit blown away by the situation, and then maybe have a voiceover or have some confessional cutouts where you explain what the outfit is. You know what I mean? So that I didn't really care for with it either. It was just, it scares me because Drag and Swan did say during Titans that they do consider this new season of Dragula and going forward as like the next chapter of what they want Dragula to be. I hope they don't do all their finales like this. I hope this is something they tried out. We could all tell y'all, no, they didn't work. Go back to the old stuff. And then they do it the way they used to.
I hope that they take, and they have been good about this in the past, so I do have some hope. I hope that they take in what the fans are saying and move forward with that information. Because there were a lot of different twists this season that a lot of people liked. Like, I liked having the Fright Feet and the Extermination both as a part of it. I like that part. I liked that we had a lip sync for your life, basically. Like, I thought that was a fun, random, out of nowhere twist.
Yeah.
This I didn't like. It stunted everything. I was just like, I don't need you. And I understand it's probably because there's a new audience to Dragula. There are a lot of people that are probably watching this for the first time because they're expanding onto Shudder, onto AMC Plus, onto Amazon, whatever. So like there are probably new audiences that need an explanation for it. And in that case, I do understand it. I think there's just a more succinct way to do it.
Right.
But yeah, they do explanations about everything. I didn't care enough to write anything down about it. So we'll just talk about the Boulets.
Talk about the Boulets.
They look good. It's not my favorite Boulet look. But
I will say there was one they did that was in the middle of the season, child, and that joker looked good. That was one of the best times I ever looked, and I can't remember which one it was.
The white looks?
No, it was like the gown look. I think it was like a black gown look, and then it had like this. It was tiered, and I think the bottom half had what looked like almost. It was. It was badass. I can't remember which one it was, but it looked over. And I'm like, this is the best y'all have ever looked. Ever. Like, because I will say this, I've always felt that Drac and Swan's outfits and looks end up being over, like afterthoughts. Mm-hmm. Like, I do not look to them to be serving no looks on no runway, on nobody's runway. Ever. Yeah. Like, the way these kids will sit up here and put on just a regular ass bodysuit or something with some big ornate headpiece. They do that all day, all night, forever. So when I actually saw them slay a look, I was like, okay, wait a minute now.
Was it the gray gowns with the Ariana Grande ponytail?
No. It was, I feel like it was black and red, like this. And it was a gown.
Well, they did the Monet Exchange inspired bodysuit, so it wasn't that.
No.
Was it with the big hair? Not with the big hair.
Mm-hmm.
It was like big spiky hair. Ooh,
maybe.
They really did not do a good job about posting photos of their looks this season. Damn. Oh, no. It was the cage one when Dolly was there.
I think that was it.
With the big cage headpiece.
Yeah, I think it was when Dolly was there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that has to be it. Yeah, this don't look bad. Whatever. We move.
It wasn't horrible. It was just like, okay. Yeah. Thanks for playing.
So we're going to look at everyone's Floorshow package as a whole. So we are going to start with Orkgotik. And this is what he had to show.
Plus minuses and all arounds. I was gagged over the fact that he did the third worm of the season.
I was just like, you know better. Don't do a worm.
I was like, I don't know if you already had this finale concept together before you got there, or if they gave you time after you made it into the top 4 to come up with your outfit. So I can only give you benefit of the doubt if you came up with this before you knew what happened on the season. If they let you go home and come up with this finale concept and you came back and brought a worm after you saw 2 other people do a damn worm, I'm like, child, I don't know what you thought you were going to impress or who you thought you were going to impress. You're trying to throw up and you can't. You look like you're eating yourself. It was weird. I would say more weird than filthy. For me.
I will go ahead and say, and this kind of goes for everything, I was very disappointed with the filth category on a whole.
Yeah,
I thought filth was the weakest category across the board. And when we've had some iconic filth runways, it's like you think of Melissa, you think of Bitch, you think of
Louisiana,
Dolly.
Not Louisiana. What's her name?
Sadly, not Louisiana.
Priscilla.
You think of Priscilla. I think of Victoria from Titans.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't. Yeah. I mean, this is the same character 3 times. I'm going to be honest with you. It's none of this was groundbreaking. None of this was different. None of this was elevated. None of this was like, I expected every damn thing that we got from Orkgotik.
Right. Pretty much. It was like nothing shocked me. We're like, I figured I was going to get this.
And then the horror broke. I don't even know what happened with the horror. But at one point, he's just scooting his ass across the floor. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
So one thing that I heard from some people, Maddie Rant said it. Maddie was like, is he doing Tokyo Gore Police?
Oh.
For his horror look. And I was like, I can kind of see that. I also do get where Blackberri was at and being like, I feel like this is the same shit you wore before. You just put, you just changed where you put the arms and wore them as legs as opposed to arms. But I do get the Tokyo Gore Police out of it. But then also, like I said, that still falls within this whole realm of it being like a Resident Evil kind of world that he lives in. You know, like the last thing was the furthest deviation from anything that we've ever seen Orkgotik do.
But even then, I would still chalk that up to being similar enough to his Haunted Hotel.
Yeah, because it was the other one that he had bat wings on or whatever. I would say those two.
Wasn't that Monsters of Rock?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I would say that's what that outfit reminds me of.
Yeah.
More so. I will give him credit for his lip sync. I don't feel he was the worst.
Oh, not at all. There was
so
a clear worst.
I don't feel like he was the worst.
Yeah. There was someone who was barely mumbling the words to that song. So, score for Orkgotik, I guess overall?
Overall score for Orkgotik, I'm going to give Orkgotik an 80.
Okay. I'm going to give him a 68.
Ooh.
Because I just don't feel like his filth did not work. The filth with him throwing up, guess what? You can't throw up. The horror, I don't know what the hell was happening, but I was not entertained. The glamour somehow was his best. And even then, it's so small that no.
The throw up made me think of Naomi on my freaking brush. Naomi on Legendary when she was when they were trying to do 360s.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, it was a failure.
It was a failure.
I was like, that's how I felt when he was over there trying to throw up. Yeah. The throw up was a failure. Not like you failed, not like you didn't do the best. It's like it was a failure and you are too. Like it was a failure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Orky.
Let's move to Throb.
Throb.
Now I'm gonna start with what I liked about Throb. And I have to say, I think Throb's glamour
was the best.
I think that was the single best look of the night. I have to say. I think overall package and look.
I won't fully say that.
And I know what you're gonna say. And
I would say that Throb's glamour was Throb's best look. And I would say it is one of the top 3 best looks out of all of the looks out of the finale.
I'll say that for sure. Too.
I would give it top 2, honestly.
I think I would too. The other one is also a glamour look. Funny enough. Or actually,
no, mine is horror.
Mine is horror. We're talking about the same one.
My issue was I didn't care for the fact that her horror looked like a glamour look. Her horror came out too glamorous for me. It didn't come off.
And I will say, and I love my dear darling Sigourney Beaver, but it felt like what Sigourney did for horror with the
mad scientist.
The mad scientist, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like that.
It was pretty horror.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the only reason why I have an issue with that is only because of the fact that you have a full category that is dedicated to you being more pretty. So I feel like that when it comes to the 3 tenets of your categories, you need to try to lean in the hardest on those tenets. So it's like, I wouldn't have a problem if you came out and you wore a gown in filth, but it needs to be the filthiest fucking gown I've ever seen. That way it doesn't look like it's putting more glamour than filth. Yes. And so that was the issue I had with her horror look. Is her horror looked too glamorous to the point where I saw more glamour than horror.
If this had been the start of the horror and there had been like ripping out the hair, ripping the garment, and it turned into something else, that's where I would have been okay with it.
But to be honest,
the start of a performance of it.
But to be honest with you, I feel like Throb could have done all that and just done that as their glamour look, and it still would have worked. But the downside is if they would have done that as a glamour look, we would have missed this glamour look. And that one was actually good.
Black Rose.
Black Dahlia kind of situation was.
And all the reveals worked. And I will give him props. Finally, his reveals worked. He tried to have. They did. They were whether they worked was one thing. They were executed the way he wanted them to be executed. Let's say that.
Right. I'm not agreeing with the Boulets and being like, oh, all his gags worked. No, they didn't. Because for me, you're trying to do the Sasha Velour, you're trying to do the making the roses rain over your head or whatever. The difference is the fact that when Sasha did that shit, she lifted them up and they cascaded and fell continuously out of the hat.
Yep.
Throb lifted his up and all the roses were sitting on top of his head.
Yep.
I was like, that's the only reason why I wouldn't say that would completely went the way that you wanted for it to. That if you would have lifted it up and they all fell out, that would have been nasty. But when I saw him pull it up, I was like, oh, you finna do a Sasha? And they were all just sitting on top of his head. That's it. Didn't work. It didn't give the same effect. Because if Sasha would have did that and the rose was just sitting on her head, it would not have been as iconic as it came out to be. It was a lot of like how it continuously, it was like there was a secret chamber or something inside the wig that held roses on a delay and waited until it lifted a certain amount of part over her head before they actually dropped out. Like, that's how it seemed. And that's why I was like, if you're going to do something like that, you need to do it like that.
There is a way to trigger that. Like, there are mechanisms you can use for that. But
I'm like, that to me was crazy. I was like, why does it seem like the freaking the roses waited until I was like, oh my God. And they just kept coming. And I was like, this is insane.
Yeah. I will say, I think the filth in concept works.
Yes. I do too. I think the downside with that is, and I think that's kind of what happened to Throb, is it's not so filthy to the point where if you have other people that are doing really filthy numbers, yours will look the least filthy.
Yeah.
And like,
did.
Yeah, that's how it ended up being. I was like,
well, no, yeah. I would put Throb over Ork as far as filth was concerned.
I would, but it's almost one of those things too where it's like it didn't feel filthy so much as it just felt icky.
You know what I want from this concept? Because we all do it, and I'm about to call probably everybody in the universe out. I would have loved if he had done some sort of recreation of like peeing in the shower.
I knew you were gonna say that.
We all do it. Hello. We all do it. And if you don't,
well, then what he could have done, which he didn't do though, is the shower water that he was like dumping himself on or whatever. He should have made that yellow.
I agree.
But he did try to do it to have more of like a sewagey kind of look or whatever.
But even then, he made it into sexy car wash, like they were saying. I was like, what are we doing here?
Sexy car wash. Sexy car
wash. I'm like, what is happening here? But
yeah, I also was wondering that too. I was like someone, and that was something I thought too. I was like, okay, I don't know if someone's told Throb this before or not, but Throb does not come off as sexy. They don't pose that at all. That is not. Your name is Throb Zombie, but girl, I am not sitting over here thinking you finna give me no lap dance or this, that, and the other. And it's just the way that Throb moves. The way that Throb moves is a person that moves like they think this is what sexy people look like when they move. But it's like you've never moved that way and had anyone actually look at you and go, oh my God, you're so hot. You're moving the way you think you've seen other people move. Because she's gyrating in weird positions and shit like that. And I'm like, but this is also a filthy runway. So like, why are you gyrating?
I don't know.
And why do your gyrations look so crunchy?
It just didn't make sense to me. But overall score for Throb's final floor show.
Overall score for Throb's final floor show, I'd give an 85.
I'm gonna give Throb a 78 because that Black Dahlia look is just so good, and I just feel like the other two were average at best.
Right.
So
I get that.
I'll go 78.
I was like, I will give Throb an 85 because I think that they did a good job, regardless of like personally what I thought. I think that they did better with 2 out of the 3 categories, as opposed to all 3. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that Ork didn't really do that the best on like any of them. So it's like, I'm kind of working my way. We're actually kind of working our ways kind of sort of backwards through the people that I like. So I'm like,
and
Throb was my third in the finale anyway. So,
and I'm pretty sure we would both potentially maybe have Niohuru a second, which is the next person we are talking about.
Yes, she was my second.
She was also my second.
I would say mostly she was my second because I felt like that she had the most looks that could have given like the most, but I feel like that there were just missed opportunities when it came to certain looks.
Yeah.
I liked her filth look.
Her filth was I would have given her the win on the filth category.
Her filth look was my favorite. I would say out of all the filth looks.
Agreed.
I love the chopsticks on the face. I loved the pig foot penis. I loved like all of it. It very, 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 very much gave us Hoso's filth runway from their season, which was really good too.
Not done as well. Oh.
Not done as well. Not at all. This is a second rate version. Hoso's was top tier, and Hoso lives for Neo.
I know.
But Hoso, that's my sister. I'm like, baby, you cleared her with yours. I'll tell you that right now. You cleared her. But like I was saying with the horror look, I wish that she would have wore the red look that she wore for the Last Supper with that mask as opposed to that dress. Because for me as well, I felt like her horror almost gave off too much glamour.
Yeah.
Like, other than her having the mask on, you got this long, flowy, gorgeous, blonde, crinkly hair and these two custom mini dresses on. That don't give me horror at all. You know what I mean? I know the creator of her horror dress is the one who does those dresses that have that blood vein capillary kind of look to it. I also know, of the people that do the dresses that are the outside of her dress, that bone framework of a dress.
It's 3D printed, right?
Yeah, that 3D printed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Aquaria had the same thing for her. For her look when she had that old sheet of print, which was cunt. I would have liked this 3D printed. I think what would have helped me out more is if this. But see, then that doesn't even fucking give me. That gives me more glamour. See, that's why I'm like, I feel like that shouldn't be.
Because I was gonna say the 3D printed cage on the front with the red dress that she was wearing in the Last Supper, but that still even gives me more glamour, quite honestly, than what she gave for glamour.
Yeah. I was like, I literally was about to say, I was like, why don't you just do a full red dress underneath that and then that over the top? I was like, well, because no, then that would be glamour, and this is the hoarder.
How about this? What if she had swapped concepts for glamour and horror and done this like horrific Ursula?
She could have easily done that.
She could have easily done that. And then her glamour, you have this mask, you have the wig, you have this long dress, you've got the cage over it. Like, that for me would have been a little bit better, because unfortunately I hated most of her glamour. Face up.
I did too.
Face up, clear.
I hated that fucking dress.
That dress is a piece of pink stretch fabric with a blow-up inflatable little ring.
With some weights at the bottom.
With some weights at the bottom, made to look like tentacles. I
was so annoyed. I was like, this for glamour?
But face. Period.
Yeah, I was like, but this is your glamour? I was like, I don't even like the fact that your arms are blue and then the rest of your dress is pink, because your arms are also supposed to be tentacles. So why the hell do you have 6 pink tentacles and 2 blue ones? That was the reason why I was very annoyed with the person who ended up winning, because of the fact that I was basing it off of, I think this is one of those finales where the winner was based most off of what they done in the competition, not so much what happened in the finale.
Yep.
And with a lot of finales, it ends up being the reverse. With a lot of finales, it's based off of what you do right there in the finale. I feel like that choices could have just been made so differently to make this come off better.
I honestly think episode 1, she walked in and she was going to win. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe
Some competitions, they do that. There were a couple seasons of America's Next Top Model where they sat over and told the damn girl right when they crowned. I remember they told McKee that on America's Next Top Model on her finale when they crowned her. They told her, "We knew we wanted you to win the minute you walked in the door." I'm like, so we went through this whole damn season thinking this bitch possibly was gonna win, and y'all knew y'all wanted her to win anyway. Like, that annoys me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that it could have been so much more. I feel like.
Yeah, but I do think overall, I think what Neo presented was good. I just wish there had been some other choices made to make each one feel a little bit more in the category that they were in.
Yeah. Yeah, it was for me, it was like, I'd give it an 85 too. It would be the second best out of what everybody else presented, but it did to me seem like I would have to shuffle some cards around for me to get the hand that I really wanted.
You could put every single look into a different category and make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, and I don't want that in my Dragula floor show. But what I will say is I am going to give her an 80 because what she did present was polished. It was clean. It may not have been the best concept. It may not have been the best executed, but what she did execute was clean and conceptual. And that is what she has given us all season. So I wasn't all that upset about it, but it's going to be an 80 for me.
Right. I see that. And
now, in my opinion, and also in Eve's opinion, I'm not going to speak for you directly, the best floor show package of the finale.
Yes.
Was Miss Blackberri.
Yes. Yes. I will say, honestly, even if you took filth completely out, and I think it's because of the fact that her horror was strong and her glamour was strong and her performance was strong. Because I'm counting all of this without counting her filth. Because to me, her filth, she looked like the Penguin.
Her filth was not good, unfortunately.
Her filth was not good. I did not like the fact that she had that tiny little bitty ass. Everyone I saw that was reviewed it was like, her head looks so tiny. I was like, it really does.
Because it does.
I was like, I wish she would have put something on, or she would have had like some jumbo exaggerated like rat ears and like whiskers or something like that. But it was like, no. Other than you having that bodysuit on, you relied mostly on the like nose piece to really give you the possum aesthetic, and then that fell off. So it was just you in a fursuit eating a raw fish. It didn't really come off as well as I would have liked. But the horror for me,
yeah,
top look of the night. Top look of the night.
I would agree. I think it would be it's very, very close for me between Blackberri's horror and Throb's glamour. Mm-hmm. But I would also give it to Blackberri for this horror look. When she talked about the concept, I was like, oh, please let this be good. Oh, please let this execution be good. Because I love what she did with this concept.
Yeah.
Why are we complaining about fucking blood made out of rhinestones when y'all got fucking Niohuru up here wearing a more glamorous look for her horror? The math ain't math in Boulets. I'm sorry. Y'all wanted her to win from the start, whatever. But like,
look, while Drac was wearing rhinestones and complimented her, I'm just like, really, girl? I was like, you had to knock down what was by far the strongest look out of the entire night off some stupid rhinestones. And I'm like, I love the concept for me. The only thing that would have added more to it is I needed to see a bit more anguish out of Blackberri. Like, I wanted to be scared.
Yeah.
I wanted to look at it and be like, wait, is she trapped in that for real, bitch? Like, is that pulling on her for real? Like, I wanted to look like, for real, they need to worry, do they need to get the cameras or not? Because something did happen for, you know what I mean? Like, that's like,
yeah.
Because if I was doing it, I would have been like trying to reach out to people, and like, I would have just been jerking myself in like random like positions, like the hooks were pulling me, and like,
yeah,
I wanted her to take it a little bit more there. But for what she showed, it was really good. It was really, really good.
I either want that or I want the presentation to be a bit more clinical. in that it's just her moving as if she's already dead and gone.
Yeah, and it's just her feet are just like just pulling her.
And it wasn't either of those things, but it wasn't not either of those things. And I think if there had been, and I don't know whether additional people were allowed to be a part of it, because I know they have done it in the past, but it was like season 1, and a lot has changed on Dragula since then. I honestly wish there had been. I wish Israel would have come out and just pushed her. Like Israel as like demon doctor pushing her on this, and all you see, like she like feet limp, like as if she's dead, but all you see moving is the eyes. Now that would have been creepy.
Yeah.
And I would have lived for that. But I
almost like she was an exhibit.
Yeah.
Almost like she was on display. And
I think that was kind of what she was going for. Unfortunately, she had to do everything herself.
Yeah.
So I think what she did do was well executed. But this glamour, my third favorite of the night by far, no question. Like this glamour is good.
I would say the glamour is really, really good. I would also agree with the Boulets though, because I feel like that it is that's the downside when it comes to some horror tropes, is they have been done 80 million.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
Just got an alert of something on my phone and it literally just made me want to cry. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord. Okay, no, you're good.
Whew. It's a good thing though. It's a really good thing. Like,
good.
I just got paid early. I'm not supposed to tomorrow. I just got my paycheck now, and my paycheck is like twice as much as I thought it was going to be.
Yay!
So yeah, I was about to mini cry, but like I'm finna ball out tonight. I'm finna be a fool.
Good.
But no, back to what I was saying with her is like I love her look, but the downside about it being one of those classic horror tropes is they're done all the time. So it gets looked at like it's the most basic when you want to go for a horror or go for a Halloween type look. And like that's kind of what their assessment was. It's like, okay, Bride of Frankenstein. We've seen 80 million Bride of Frankensteins, which I get, but I'm like, I live for the way that she did it in relationship to who Blackberri is as a Texas drag queen. Like that, you know what I mean? Like that's, I feel like if she did the Mummy, it'd be the same way, but it would be something with that silhouette of the shoulders and that waist and that mermaid bottom and something, but it would be all covered in bandages. You know what I mean? Or if she did Elvira, it would be the same silhouette, but in all black with straight black hair. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get where they were coming from, but I feel like this just played so to Blackberri. That's why it looked. You know what I mean?
I wish there's one critique I have with this glamour. I wish it was in any other color
than white.
Than white, because I think then they can't make that critique.
Maybe if it was like neon green
or even red. I think red would have been a lovely choice. I think maybe like a deep purple would have been a lovely choice. Like you're still getting the inspiration, but you're also getting Blackberri out of it. If it was Blackberri colored, if it was the color of a damn Blackberri in this silhouette with this hair,
like a deep bluish, like a deep indigo.
Absolutely. Or like a purple borderline black or something in that color family.
Yeah.
That would have been, but I still love this as it was presented to us.
Yeah.
I think she had the strongest package by far. I'm going to forget about the filth for a little bit. But to be fair, no one's filth was up to par. Really,
no one's filth was good.
To be honest. Neo had the...
We fully lied. Neo's was.
Neo had the best wine, but even then, if you compare that to past seasons' filth, it
wouldn't have been. Yeah. I get you.
Because for me on the runway, Neo won filth, Blackberri won horror, and Throb won glamour.
And for me, Neo won filth, Blackberri won horror, and it would have been a tie for me between Throb and Blackberri for glamour.
I would agree with that too.
So that's the reason why in my mindset, when it came to how it played out, I'm like, okay, well, I'm basically giving Even if I give everyone a point that I could possibly give a point to for what I want to give them to, Neo's getting 1, Blackberri will be getting 2, and Throb will be getting 1. So still, Blackberri will be getting
Orkgotik.
Nothing for Orkgotik, child. Orkgotik didn't beat nobody ass at nothing.
Orkgotik literally had the 10th, 11th, and 12th best looks of the night.
They had the 3 worst looks of the night, to be completely honest with you. Actually, shit, damn, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fully say that. That filth look gonna go down there.
Blackberry's filth, I would say, is number 9.
I'd put it at 10. Hell, I'd actually put it at 10, and I would put Orkgotik's glamour look as 9.
Okay, fair.
I'd put Orkgotik's glamour over this filth.
Okay.
Because I even agreed with what some other people were saying about the filth too. Was it was clean. That was another thing I didn't like about it. It looked clean as shit, and I was like, girl, I would have came like that's. I feel like something else that would have helped elevate the look is you should have came out covered in trash. Like the way you should have came out with like the bag that she came out with, the garbage bag and had all the stuff on it. I would have came out with that garbage bag already ripped around me, almost like it was a damn sash, like I was coming out of the trash, and I would have just been kicking trash around. I would have had trash in my hands. Like, it took a minute for her to get there. You know what I mean? She did a lot of scurrying around as a rat first before she actually got in the trash. Bitch, I would have came in coming out the trash. So, like, yeah, missed opportunity. But, like, overall, off the package and off the finale, Blackberri did the best, personally, for me.
I'm factoring all of it in. I can't forget the filth, unfortunately. But factoring it all in, I'm going to give Miss Berry an 87.
Yeah, factoring out, including the filth, which does knock you down some, I'm going to give you a 90.
And look at all, look, they're about to get crowned. All of them, I think,
Blackberri.
technically.
Blackberri. Something also made me feel this, and this is going to be honest with you. Something also made me feel that at the end of the day, they were never going to crown Blackberri.
No.
They let her make finals, but something made me feel like that at the end of the day, it's kind of like what Throb was talking about. Like, yes, a monster is a state of mind, and you don't have to look a certain way, this, that, and the other, but I do think that they want someone that gives that more alt, creepy, behind the back of the woods, you know, not dancing, shucking and jiving at a brunch every other week, that kind of aesthetic for someone to have this title. You know what I mean? And so that's why part of me felt like no matter how good Blackberri does, I don't know if they will crown Blackberri over crowning someone who I feel like just off the bat fits their demographic the best. Like, that's the way I felt during season 1 of Dragula, where Melissa B. Fierce was doing amazing, but at the same time, I was like, I don't think they're going to crown her because she's still not the type of monster that they made this competition for. She's just doing good in the competition, which we're not faulting her on.
And to that exact point, I was going to say, and that's why Melissa didn't get crowned. That's why Victoria didn't get crowned. That's why, to an extent, that's why Priscilla didn't get crowned. That's why Sigourney didn't get crowned.
That's why Eva Destruction didn't get crowned.
That's why, well, Eva didn't make the final. That's why
but that's why Eva Destruction didn't make the finals.
Exactly. That's why
Eva Destruction didn't really start out as a spooky queen other than her doing the clown thing or whatever. And she came into her season and was clearing until they sent her home. And I was like,
But of the finalists, I mean, like, that's why Sigourney didn't get crowned. Yeah. That's why I love Coco, but that's why Coco didn't get crowned. That's why Blackberri didn't get crowned.
Yeah. No, I take that back. Coco has always been in that horror alt aesthetic. Coco didn't get crowned when she was in finals because they made that crown for Victoria. That's the reason why. I'll say that more so than anything else, because I feel like that if Victoria wouldn't have been there, Coco could have got that crown. I don't know with her finale though, but I mean,
I think given the finale that we got from her, which I do still think was a good finale, but I think given that if Victoria's not there, Hoso gets it.
Yeah, I see that too. Yeah,
and I see them bringing Hoso back for a third time and setting up a season for Hoso to get the crown.
I do too.
I see it. And would I be fundamentally mad at that? No. But we do have a winner. It's not Blackberri.
Yes.
But in my opinion, the next best option, which is Niohuru X, I congratulations, Diva. Congratulations, Diva.
Congratulations, sister.
And the cast, every single person on the cast has had nothing but fabulous things to say about her as a human in real life. So you know what? Work, Diva. I'm happy for her. This blood crowning look is the single worst blood crowning look I have ever seen in my entire life because it was a little patch over her vajazzle area and the thinnest excuse for a bralette you had ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
But she still got crowned. The first trans woman to win Dragula. And I am thrilled that we finally get to say that.
Work. And congratulations to all of the finalists for making it. Because like they all like did good in their own way. And some of them broke barriers even though they didn't even win it. Like Blackberri was the first plus size girl to make the finals.
Which gooped me. I was like, what the fuck do you mean a big girl? And
That's
I was like,
lie.
no, you're right.
That's a lie. I just thought about it. That's a fucking lie. Frankie Doom was a big girl. And Frankie Doom was top 3 on season 1. I just thought about that. I was like, there hasn't been another big girl. I said, no, Frankie's big ass. No, Frankie.
I was going to say.
I blocked Frankie out because I was never crazy about Frankie. But like, no, Frankie Doom was the first one.
Frankie's cute out of drag. I will say that.
I honestly was more of an Ursula Major fan out of drag.
I'm a fan of both of them out of drag. Let's just be real and honest and genuine on here on the pod. But I almost slept with Ursula Major once. Fun fact for your day.
Ooh.
She did a show here, and I had work the next morning, so I couldn't. But
I never get these awesome opportunities. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. I did make out with with the Drag Race contestants.
I was gonna say, baby, you get more opportunity than I do. Ain't nobody gets booked here. We get India Farah and Elliot with 3 Ks.
Ew, no. Oh no.
At least I can say the last Drag Race girls that were booked here were Kennedy Davenport and Mystique Summers. So like at least I can say that now. But
I'm sitting up here like, who are we having here next from Drag Race?
Literally.
Mom.
Yeah.
She's going to be here Friday. Ran into Detox of all people yesterday at the beauty supply store. When I was going to get these nails, I ran into a friend of ours and they were like, oh, Detox and Bambi are in the back. And I was like, Detox is back there? And so I went back there to say hey to her. Because she's doing they're having one of the flip phone brunches up here at the Walnut Room. It's like a Madonna brunch. And so she's in that.
Of course, yeah.
I think it's her, Layla, my niece Helvetica, and somebody else. But she was looking for a wig for it. And so I told her, I was like, I was going to come and see you last week because last week week before last, her and Roxy were at Roscoe's for the viewing party. And then last week was supposed to be Naomi. They ended up canceling it because of the weather.
Yeah.
This week is Sasha. And I'm like, last time she was here for Bambi's show Mayhem that they did at Roscoe's. It was the year before she got cast. Honestly, it might have been a couple of months before she went to go film. So she hasn't been back since then. So I'm just like, Detox said I should be there too. I was like, okay, work. Yeah. This should be cute.
And now y'all know where to find Eve on Friday. So
yes, you can find me. I'll be at Splash watching the Drag Race viewing party hosted by Kinsey Kool-Aid with my niece Victoria K. Frost, and then we're gonna pop over to Roscoe's and go see my sister / her auntie Detox, and then we're gonna go see Sasha Colby. And yeah, it's gonna be a cute night. And tonight we're gonna go and ball out and turn up.
Well, then I'm going to close this out so she can go ball and I can go to sleep. That's what I'm about to go get high and I'm going to take my ass to bed.
Hello.
So, with that being said, thank you so much for joining us for our coverage of Dragula Season 5. If you stuck through all the Dragula coverage, thank you. We know it was rough. We know it was a struggle.
It was a struggle
for us. It was a struggle for us too, but we thank you for sticking through it. With that being said, we are going to be here all year giving you almost all things drag. We got season 16 of Drag Race right now. We've got Drag Den. For our Filipino fans, we are covering Drag Den. We've got Drag Race Belgique coming very soon. We've got Drag Race UK versus the World coming soon. We've got Drag Race España All-Stars coming very soon, all within 8 days of each other. We're going to die over here, but we will be here covering it all. So make sure to watch those episodes. Go
pray
support
for
us.
us.
Pray for us. Go support those international divas, and then come over here and support us over here on The Cup. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell so you know exactly when we're dropping everything that we're doing. Hit the YouTube thanks if you want to help us in a monetary fashion. And all that goes right back into making this podcast better for y'all, and we appreciate it greatly. Make sure to follow our socials as well at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can go follow Eve and myself down in the description below as well. If you're in Chicago, go see Eve and whatever she's doing. And you can also go get your merch, including but not limited to the Cup mug, available down there as well. And for the final time this season, I gotta play this.
Attention competitors. Attention competitors. The Floorshow is about to begin.
Cute Fantasia twerking on a table.
That's what I'm gonna miss most from this season is Fantasia's reactions to the alarm going off. Cheers to Fantasia Royale Mama.